Good morning and welcome to Yogalates Live. For the next 45 minutes we're going to do an all over body workout. I will be using a ball, band and block, and if you do have a ring and you've been coming to my classes you want to use this as well, we'll be doing some exercises with that ring involved. Hopefully you've had a nice Christmas and you're wanting to burn some calories like me, so today you're going to be able to stretch fully the whole body and at least get the heart rate to about 120 beats per minute. So when ready, taking yourself on your mats, on the ground your heels and feet facing forwards, and the first thing we're going to do is ski stretch to allow the body to fully wake up. So a nice deep breath in to stretch the arms, and then out breath down. Make sure the knees are going over the toes as you stretch, and as you exhale to come down, remember to replenish that breath by breathing in as you stretch up. Each time you lengthen, pull at the sides of the arms and from your waistline to stretch the sides of the body. Pull the tummy muscles in as you're stretching and feel the lengthening in the shoulders all the way to the tops of your fingers. I'm going to do 4 more of these, so make sure you're breathing in to stretch and hold before you come down. I'm going to do 2 more of those nice big ski stretches. Last one, remember you're bending in the knees to come all the way down. Now we're going to lengthen one arm at a time and stretch in the side of the body, which we've done before, and you would have seen this in other videos as well. But if you have been sitting around a lot, these muscles probably won't have been used very much, other than to maybe reach the top cupboard to get the biscuits or chocolates. Now from here, place the hands together, we're going to side bend. We've done these before as well, we're just going to hold for a minute there. I'm going to go a little lower. Now breathe in and out as you hold this stretch and try and encourage that top arm to lengthen over the top of your head. And then we're going to exhale to come up. Don't let the arms drop. And then you're going to exhale again to go to the other side as you stretch the side of the body. Now, if you do have issues with your feet, you can do this sitting down. And then go lower. And then encourage that arm to come over so you're fully working the side of the body and the spine. So with 30 seconds on each side, we're going to come back up and bring the arms down. They're going to feel quite heavy, so we're going to roll through the shoulders all the way back for about 6 of those, keeping the head and chin facing me. And then from here, we're going to go into dumb waiter straight away, bringing the elbows close into the waistline. What I'm looking for is that there's no gap here, so pull in tight. And then as you do, making a flag shape with your hands facing the ceiling, open and close. We're going to do 16 of these. Now take your time on this one, because as you open and pull out, you'll feel the working of the top of the arm muscles and into the shoulders. Now again, if you can't stand, you can do this seated. So pulling open and releasing. Don't forget your in and out breaths as you pull. And as you hold nice and tight, pulling open with the arms, draw the elbow closer into the waistline. 6 more. Now this is a nice stretch on all of the muscles in the top of the arms there, but try and keep the shoulders down. Shoulders up here cause tension, so bring them down and pull. Nice opportunity again to breathe deeply in through the nose and out through your mouth, so you feel the stresses of not stretching and maybe not doing very much for a few days. Releases on the out breath. 1 more. Now bring the arms down. I'm going to shoulder roll again backwards for 6, but take your time. Try and get the shoulders all the way up to the earlobes and back and down. If I turn to the side, you'll see that I'm doing 4 stretches there. But do keep the chin up and your head in line with whatever you're looking at, preferably me. And last rotation back. Now we're going to work here down the body. So I'm going to bring the arms up into 2 triangles, yeah? Try and get the hands in line with the chest. As we open and close, we're going to do 16 of these as well. Don't forget your in and out breaths, and as you pull back, try and hold for a second. Again, if I turn, you'll see that I'm trying to get my elbows in line as I pull back. So you're going as far back as you can as you pull back on the elbows. And as you continue to pull back and release, don't forget, pull the tummy muscles in as well. Keep the head up so the vertebrae stays nice and in line. And 4 more. Last 2. And 1 more. Now can you open and hold it there just for 2 seconds and try and bring the elbows further back. Now again, you'll need to release the arms on this one, going forwards to roll to release the arm muscles. Now from elevation to depression, we're going to go up to the ears and down, again for 10. Easy exercise on the shoulders, but allows your body to wake up. And anyone can do this, whether you're seated or standing. Last one. Now we're going to work down the body. We're going to open the legs nice and wide, so make sure you've got enough room, and we're just going to circle through the hips. Now if you've got a bad back, you need to be slower and be caution into the circles. So don't go too far or too wide. And then as you go all the way around, try and thrust forwards and pull back. And then reverse. Now I'm going to turn to the side again so you can see how far I'm tilting the pelvis forwards and how far it's going back. Now allow the shoulders to rest on this one, because it's just working the middle body and you're squeezing the glute muscles as you thrust forwards. So nice big circles in the opposite direction. We'll do 1 more here. And then from here, open the legs, and we're going to bend through the knees, but turn the feet to the corners of your mat and bend up and down here, working on your quads. Now these exercises are quite easy to do. You don't have to be a gymnast to be able to do them. It's just a general stretch throughout. We're going to do 4 more. And last one. And now we're going to go into your yoga position. So we're going to bend through, place the hands at the tops of the thighs with a straight back, and pulse just to limber the top of the quads. Watch any knee problems you may have so don't go too low. And then we're going to hold that position, but bring our hands in front, push in, the fingers together, and lengthening the arms towards me. I want you to thrust through the pelvis as well, so you're tilting it up towards the navel, and then relax the shoulders down as you push the hands away. You can stay there for 4 breaths now. Now you'll start to feel the top of the quads anyway. 2 to 3 breaths is all you need to hold there. If it's too much, I'm going for the 6 breaths altogether, so we're going to go a little lower for those that are able to. Make sure you put a stretch in the top of the legs, in the back, in the pelvis, and across the arms and hands. Now coming out of this, take those hands above the head like we did earlier. Keep the legs open, but stretch so the elbows are straight. And then gently tilt again, holding on to your hands or fingers, and don't twist. So you're making sure you're going over to the side with that lateral side bend, this hand over the head to pull. And then release to the other side. Now this is a nice, easy opportunity to go straight into a triangle bend. So dropping your right elbow down, take the left over the head, and stretch as far as you can. All we're doing is stretching, but what we want to make sure of is that this hip is facing me, so thrust forward with the pelvis, and you will get a nice stretch in the spine. So remember, we're just stretching here. We haven't gone into main phase yet. This is just to wake up your body and remind the muscles of what they used to do, preferably before lockdown if you've not come back, or if you've come back to classes, to keep us nice and supple. We're going to go to the other side now, so turn this foot in slightly, take the left to the side and triangle stretch on the other arm. Now still lengthening through the right hand, bend through the knee if you can, and thrust the pelvis towards me. Go lower if you want progression. Now to work your spine. Going through the legs now. For those that can't reach the floor, take the hands to the elbows, if not hands to the floor, and look through the legs, holding here for 4 breaths. Head then coming down, allowing the spine to fully lengthen and stretch to open every single disc in the spine. Draw the head down if you want progression, preferably to the floor for those that can, and then place the hands at the edge or to your ankles into a nice open wide angle forward fold, this being your first yoga pose. Feeling the lengthening through the leg. If you go dizzy at all, come up slowly and allow your body to straighten and lengthen. And then hands next to the head, draw the heels in as we go, as we've done before, into a Sumo Warrior hold. This yoga pose opening up your chest and hips. We're staying here with the elbows at the top of the thighs. Try and get the knees travelling towards the toes. So holding here for 1 minute, can you thrust further forwards with your pelvis? Now into triangle yoga pose. Slide the right hand down to the inside of the foot, taking the other arm to the ceiling. Now the top hand should be in line with the bottom, and for those that don't go dizzy, turn the head towards that back arm. Looking here towards the ceiling, stretching on that left arm. Notice here both knees are straight, both elbows are straight. And the twisting of the back is working through the centre of that spine. So all of the muscles attached to that spine are going to be twisting forwards. Again, thrust the pelvis forwards if you can slightly to make sure the leg underneath, or your right leg, is stretching your hamstrings. Don't forget your breathing. Now I want you to swap arms today. Take the left hand down to your right foot. Take the right hand behind you into Trikonasana, Tritatita, and turning the head towards the back arm. So twisted triangle hold. Still try and keep the knees straight. Watch your balance, twisting through the back. If you can't reach the floor with the hand, place it on the calf muscles and stay here for 4 breaths. Making 10 altogether as I've talked through the first 4. Now changing to the other side. Go back to triangle stretch, so same arms, same foot. Palms travelling inside of the foot there. Opposite hand again, fingers to the ceiling, and then the opposite hand underneath you. Bending the knee in front on that left leg, and we're going to turn to the right hand and stay here for 6 to 10 breaths. Breathe deeply. Don't forget to release the breath. Listen to the breath going in and out. 2 more deep breaths. Now this is one exercise you probably can't do on a sofa. You can definitely do the upper body. So if you were to stretch the ceiling, the other arm to the sofa, you still stretch the arm even if you can't work your legs. So we're going to take that right hand over the top of the left leg or foot, and we're going to stretch into the legs and knees. And we're ready, lifting the left arm to the ceiling. Turning now the head towards that left hand. Four more breaths, don't give up yet. To come out of this, place both hands down and walk the heels in, gently one at a time. And keep a gap between the feet. From here, place your fingertips under the toes and straighten the legs, dropping the head into an easy forward fold. But here, if I turn to the side, you'll notice that the knees are straight and the head is trying to reach for the knees. Still working the same hamstrings now. Place the hands out of gorilla in front of you and step back on one leg, but try your best to bring the hands either side of the foot and lengthen both knees, eventually getting the palms to the floor. Drop the head and hold for 4 more breaths. Now change legs and do the same on the other leg. So both heels down, both palms down, head to the knee. Don't forget your breathing. And if you get dizzy, come up slowly. To progress, try and get the nose to the knee. Now from here, both feet together. Bring yourselves down onto all fours. From here, make sure the hands are in line with your knees. And then we're going to go to downward cat position by curling through your back, which we've done before, but this should feel amazing if you've not done much exercise. And then we're going to go to an up cow position, pushing through into Gottasana, lifting the head and the bottom in line. Now I'm holding every position for about 2 to 3 breaths to feel the stretch today, so you're not going too fast. And coming out, exhale. And then inhale. As you feel the stretch on the back here, lifting the neck will also pull the abdominal muscles. 2 more. When you're here, pull up the pelvic floor muscles, pull them in tightly and draw them to the back. And 1 more. Returning to how we started, pull in. Now with your toes up, gently pull one heel down at a time into an easy downward dog. Now I'm going to turn around just to make it easier, as I've done so many times before for those that have tight hamstrings. Use your block at the end of your mat. And then gently push down again the heels to the block. And then hold that position, dropping the head to look towards the knees for those that can't place the heels on the floor. Staying here for 6 to 10 breaths. Breathe in deeply, breathe out slowly. This stretch really works the calf muscles as well, so you'll feel the whole of the body benefiting. We're going to progress from here. For those with wrist problems, go down to elbows and fists to the floor here. Otherwise, into three-legged dog today, stretching the leg to the ceiling, dropping the head to look towards the knee and turn out the hip of the extended leg to the ceiling. Try and lengthen through your hips and knees, elbows and hands. Then flip the dog and encourage the hip to turn out as the opposite foot travels across the top of the bottom. Then change legs. Don't forget to breathe. I know this isn't easy. And then lengthen the knee if you can. Then flip the dog in your own time. You should feel this stretch in your calf muscles, the leg you're standing, shoulders and hands, building upper body and working on the hip. Now come down and slowly roll into a child's pose from here. Hands to your heels and roll as tight in a ball as you can. For those that can't roll onto the knee for whatever reason, roll onto your back, knees to chest. Now 3 opportunities to change if this becomes difficult for you. Come onto the elbows, cross the knees and ankles, or rather cross the ankles and lean on the knees, and bring the pelvis off the floor if you can't do normal plank. The rest of us, extending the legs, toes down. I want you to go into a yoga plank with the elbows bent here. We're going to go forwards and back, pushing forwards over your hands with your head, or rocking through your toes. I'm going to stay there for 1 minute if you can. So think of the alternative if this is too much, or if you have a bad back, lift the bottom. Pull in the tummy muscles and breathe deeply. Don't forget your breathing. Holding still for just 2 seconds. Drop the knees and curl again. But this time into a shell pose. Hands above the head and lengthen through the spine by stretching from the shoulders to the hands. Now we're going to lay on to your backs. I would use a pillow or block under the head. Coming down with knees bent, make sure the head is comfortable. I'm going to start now with my ring. If you don't have a ring, use a ball and place it between your knees. Bring in the legs then, when ready, up to a tabletop. If you have a ring, squeeze and release for 35 pulses. Bring in the abductors, squeezing forward to work the abductors on the outside of the legs. You'll do exactly the same with a ball. So the ball will go between the knees and you'll squeeze, but it won't be such a a dramatic effect. And the muscles will be fully worked if you do have the ring. Now if the back hurts, you can place the hands either side of the bottom there or a pillow underneath to help to protect the lower back. Now again, even if you couldn't do the standing exercises, this might be the better opportunity for you to do exercises laying down on a bed or sofa if you can't get up and down from the floor. I'm nearly finished, so you've got 5 more. I hope you're counting yours. Now we're going to take the ring between the calves or just above the ankles. Same with the ball, so use the ball between the feet. And again, place the hands either side of the glute muscles. And we're going to do the same thing here, the little tiny squeezes against the ring for 36 pulses. Now you should feel a natural stretch at the top of the legs and a little bit in the core muscles now. Now working here in the transverse abdominis muscles, we're going to drop the ring left to right. Same if you have the ball between the legs. And notice here I'm rocking towards the hand either side. Now this is really good to get your waistline back if you have eaten too much. And I would suggest if you had a big breakfast, don't do this one because it will not be comfortable for you. But here, watch the back. Depending on the strength of the abdominal muscles, you might only go so far, but don't overstretch because it will be tomorrow that the back would hurt if you have. Don't forget to count them. Last 10. Now take the legs to a tabletop, bending through the knee here, and make sure that the knees are in line with the hips. It's going to hurt a little bit with the ring, so if you need to swap to the ball, do so now. We're going to work your upper body. So with your block or pillow, place it under the head and open out the elbows. Working your rectus abdominis muscles, roll up and come back down into small roll-ups for about 30 counts. Now this isn't a full roll-up from the floor all the way up, but you will still feel the work through the lower core muscles, and of course holding the legs in tabletop, you're going to feel it at the top of the legs. Try and keep the elbows nice and wide so that you don't hinder the neck and shoulders. Pulling open here will also target these muscles more than you using the arms, which isn't really going to work the centre of your abdominal muscles. This is a real good one if you've eaten too much and you suddenly realise that nothing works as it did before, or maybe you just eaten too much and found a few extra rolls in the middle. Five more. Now lower the head and remove the ring, bringing the feet down, and we're just going to rock left to right to allow the hips to release. Again, as you're twisting left and right, you may want to progress, try and get the knees further down towards the floor. And as you twist, this is really good for your hips and back. So if you do suffer or you're just starting to feel achy in the lower back, this is a real good exercise to do. And you can do this on a bed as well. So if you don't want to join me in doing this now, then maybe before bedtime, nice big stretch. If you did this every night actually before bed, you would actually sleep really well. Plus less pain in the spine and hips. 2 more. Now leaving the legs here, bring the heels to the bottom and remove the block as we now roll up into a bridge position. Palms are going to stay on the floor, but knees need to be in line with the hips. Look up to the ceiling and allow the shoulders to take, if you like, a little bit of the weight. Most of the weight is going onto your quadriceps, top of the thighs. But as you draw the tummy in and squeeze the glute muscles, you will also work all of the muscles inside of the pelvis. And of course the glute muscles that we're having to work hard here to keep you up. Now again, don't forget your breathing as you stay in this position. For progression, for those that can, take the hands above the head and stretch them as you tilt the pelvis or higher towards the ceiling, or place the hands either side of the block. The higher up the pelvis you go, the better the stretch on the spine. Two more breaths here. Now lower the back for a moment, but don't move the arms as we bring the legs back to tabletop with the arms extended. Here, working on the lower tummy and back, draw one leg to a straight heel and hold, feeling the work through the back and tummy. Then change legs. Now repeat this for 10. Alternate legs stretch to bend. Hard exercise, again having to use the spine, core muscles to lengthen and stretch the legs, and of course so many other muscles in the tops of the legs from the hips. 4 more. Now bring the block with you and lower the feet, then go back to bridge and place the block under the bottom. If you don't have a block, use the ball. If you don't have either, just lift the pelvis. We're just going to stay here stretching the back and lengthening through your spine from the work you've just done. You should feel a nice stretch here now from all the work you've done this morning. And stay here for 4 breaths now. Now bring one heel to the block and the other leg to the ceiling, stretching here into the leg but also across the hips. And stay with that leg there for 4 breaths, breathing in through the nose and out through your mouth slowly. And change legs. Drawing the legs down, stay here with the heels off the floor and try if you can to reach for the heels with your fingers. You could remove the block if it's easier. Now remove the block and place it under the head or pillow, under the head, and then we're going to use the band. So if you have one, reach for the band and place it around 1 foot as we do leg floats. This will give a chance for the tummy and back to rest. Once you have your band, pull the elbows down, and we're going to do gentle leg kicks just for 30 stretches. Try and keep the knee nice and straight with the heel and toes, and feel the pull on the leg as it travels towards the head. Can you feel that working through your leg? So do stretch fully. Notice here that my hands aren't moving and the elbows are supporting the lengthening of the band, causing the resistance or the stretch into the leg muscles. Four more when ready. Now can you change legs and repeat on the other leg for 30 as well? Keeping the other leg in bent or crooked position. And 10 more. Don't give up, keep going. This is just stretching the legs, allowing the hips to fully function. Two more. Now release the band and sit up, giving your chance for the back to rest. Place the band in front of you. Legs in crooked position but seated. Open and close the band for 16. Stretch it across the chest, but try and keep the arms in line or the hands in line with the shoulders. Now today we're going to use the band under the feet. Push down with the band and hold tight, but you may find you'll need the ball behind you to protect your back. Holding onto the bands, roll to the ball and come off, but today for 36, working lower back and core muscles. The band here will help you as you push against the feet. If you don't have a band, you can do without. Just demo that. It's exactly the same, but keep the arms in front. Working the tummy muscles harder if you don't have the band, but the resistance will work the arms, so it's your choice where you want to go with this exercise. But as you roll back, remember your out breath and a nice deep breath in when you come to seated. Two more. Now do it without the band and take the ball further away. So now you've got more of a rotation through to the tummy, no flexion even, sorry, and going forwards and back, dig your heels in. As you extend the spine, you might want to hold it there for a second before you release. An already 40-minute workout. We've got 5 more minutes here. Now I am going to be doing a live class every other week, every other week, but also you will find them on YouTube. I'm hoping to do an aerobics class on Thursday morning live, so if you want to join me for more cardiovascular, we'll be doing that this Thursday. Ready for New Year's Eve, that even if you can't have a party, at least you can enjoy the music and have a bit of a dance off with me. We're going to repeat this for 4 more rollbacks. You should feel the lower tummy, top of the legs. Now we are going to work into your bottom before we finish today, especially for those that have done a lot of seated or sitting down. So we're going to roll back onto your hands and knees. Once you're here, all I'm going to get you to do is extend the leg directly out to the side, so it's a right angle with the hip. And we're going to go up and down for 30 counts. This isn't easy. If it gets too much, do it with a bent knee. But this really targets the top of the leg, all the muscles at the side of the leg and into the bottom. Now, other leg for 20. If it's too much, go to 50. Now draw the legs back to all fours and length for one leg. Stretch it back by pushing through the heel. Then using the back and the glute muscle, take, whoops, found the tree, take the leg up and down, also for 30 counts. Now you should feel the glute muscle at the top there working. Now if you want more progression, slow it down. It's far harder to lift and hold than go up and down and get it over and done with quicker. That's 15. Keep the head down, neck in line with the rest of the vertebrae there so you don't hurt the spinal column or the neck. Ten more. Now other leg. Repeat again for 30. Now bend through the knees and then stretch again through the legs, lengthening one at a time into pedal pushes and drop the head. This will take away the discomfort in the glute and back on both legs. And then you're going to walk the feet towards the hands. Go back to gorilla, which we did earlier, yoga pose there, and drop the head to look towards the knees. Now bend the knees and slowly roll up, pulling through the tummy muscles until the head fully comes up. Roll back on the spine and shoulders. Now find your ring for me as we work the chest muscles before closing this morning. Taking the ring in front of you, push against the ring for little tiny pulses for 30. If you don't have a ring, you can use the band, but pull instead. Or if you don't have either, the easiest exercise will do to make sure the arms are slow, but opening and closing slowly. Now draw it to the ceiling and gently stretch again like we did in the beginning, side to side. Releasing the ring, finishing in balance, take one leg up and hold. This is a good party popper or party game you can play when you've had a few drinks. Trying to get balanced on one leg isn't easy. So maybe something you can do with the family as you come to New Year. Other leg when ready. And then stretch again. Arms up and lengthen. Arms back and down, shoulders rolling. Now to finish with your head, side to side. Stretch and hold. 2 more. Take care, have a good day. Thanks for joining me. Bye bye for now.